What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the NECA Ultimate Collection, The Boys Homelander. So here we have Homelander posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Homelander does come with 3 different head sculpts. We do get a smiling expression. We do get a frowning expression. Then we do get a head sculpt where you can attach his heat ray eyes, which looks really nice. He also comes with 2 pairs of hands. We do get a pair of fists. Then we get a pair of style pose hands. Other than that, Homelander really doesn't come with anything else. I would have liked to see a flight stand included with Homelander, but that's neither here nor there. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look at Homelander. And so here we have a closer look at Homelander, and I think NECA has done a really good job with the face sculpt. It's not 100% likeness to the actor. There are some things that I would have liked to see, maybe a little more, I don't know, it's hard to really say what I would do with this head sculpt. Maybe his forehead is a little bit too long, maybe his face isn't squared enough, but I think it looks enough like Homelander that you can get the gist of it just by looking at the figure. Maybe the hair is also too yellow. I don't know what it is, but there's something about the likeness that is throwing me off just a little bit. It's not drastic enough that I'm going to say this is a very poor head sculpt. This is a really good head sculpt. There's just something about it that's throwing me off. I can't quite put my finger on it right now, but I do know it has to do with the sculpting. Maybe it's too soft. I don't know. That's probably just me. You might think it looks more like the actor than I do, but yeah, really good head sculpt, and I do like the fact that they did include a 5 o'clock shadow on Homelander. It's not that noticeable, but it's just subtle enough to know that it is there. But yeah, really like the head sculpt, and if I was iffy about the head sculpt, I know I love this outfit. They sculpted this beautifully. I expect nothing less from NECA other than a beautiful sculpt, and they actually did a fantastic job with the sculpting of this figure. Just looking at his costume, you can see all the intricate design that went into it. You can see the little flap that he has right here, which does flap off at some points. Then on his neck you can see that he has the red and gold, which looks really nice. Really do like that. You can even see the seam lines in the collar, which that's a really nice little detail. We do have the eagles right here on his shoulders. Those looking really good, really awesome. We have a look at his cape, which is all glory. As you can see, it does have the Star Spangled Banner on it, which looks really nice. We have the stars, and then we have the stripes, and it's a really nice material. Now, unfortunately, NECA does not include wireframes in their capes. It would have been nice if they did. That way we could get this cape posed, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about capes without wires anymore. I think originally I liked them, but now I kind of feel like all capes do need wires just to get them in awesome poses. That's not taking anything away from the figure, and just looking at the costume, I really do like the paint work that went into it. It's not just a blue. You can see they did add a wash just to help bring out some of those details, especially right here in his arms. That looks really good. We can see that he has an elbow pad sculpted onto his costume, which looks really good. The red with the gold looks fantastic. They did a really, really awesome job here, especially with his gloves. They kind of look like baseball gloves, but at the same time they don't. Really like this color of red that they went with, and they did add this really good wash throughout the figure. It looks perfect. The gold is probably the best part about the color scheme. It's not overpowering. It's just the right color of gold, with the detailing still being there. It's not too harsh, and it's just crisp enough that you know that the detail is there. Good seam line right here on his wardrobe. I do really like the fact that they went all the way with the sculpt. They added all the panel lining that you see in the TV show onto this figure. They even sculpted a little bit on the abdomen right here, just in case you do raise the abdomen up. You can, of course, hide that with the articulation, so that's a really nice, good feature that NECA included. We have some more seam lines right here. The boots having the same detail as you would expect, with the really nice seam lines and seams going throughout the boots. The eagles look perfect, and the wash on the boots done NECA has knocked it out of the park with this figure. Really have been looking forward to getting Homelander in my collection now that I have him. I can honestly say I'm not disappointed. This is a really nice figure. I do like the way he came out. So that's all for Homelander's details. There's really not too much to talk about in terms of his costume. It's just basically a blue jumpsuit, but the detailing on it is superb. Gotta give NECA credit there. They really knocked it out of the park with Homelander here. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually compare Homelander to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Homelander posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. And so here we have Homelander posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Homelander posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And for one final comparison, here we do have Homelander posed next to the NECA The Boys Starlight. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually run through his articulation really fast. Homelander does have a double ball joint here in the head, which does work really nice. I do like the fact that they did include a double ball joint instead of a ball peg. I think this works much better than the ball peg. You can see you can tilt his head really good just on that upper joint. The secondary joint does let you tilt his head more. He looks back about that far, can look down about that far. So he does get some really good range, and we do have left and right swivel. Now he does have another ball joint here in the neck, so he can look up a little bit more. He can bury his chin into his chest, which is really good, and that does help with some neck pivot. So really like the articulation setup right here in his head. It's done really well. He does have a ball hinge here at the shoulder, which does go out to about that far, and you can hear the squeak. I think the squeak comes from the rubber overlay squeaking along the plastic, because his entire torso right here is a rubber overlay on top of the plastic, so that's probably causing the squeak, because it does squeak when you go forward and back as well. He does go all the way around, no problem, out to the side to about right there before the sculpt starts bumping into itself. Now, he doesn't have a traditional bicep swivel because that would have broken up the sculpt, so we do have a swivel down here at the elbow, as well as a double hinge here, which is this NECA style where we have the hinge, the elbow, and then another hinge. He does rotate at the gauntlet, so that is pretty good. Then we have swivel and hinge at the wrist, although it's a little bit stiff on mine. I might have to heat that joint up or just break the paint just to get it loose, but yeah. It is moving now. Now, if he wasn't wearing his overlay, he would have some kind of mid-torso articulation, but it is completely hindered by this piece. This isn't soft enough to cause any real articulation, so it's mainly just going to keep him like that. But we do have a ball joint here at his waist, which does pivot side to side, rotates no problem, goes back about that far, crunches forward about that far, and yeah, like I said, you're not going to get too much out of that, but you can get a little bit if you try forcing it. Legs do kick forward all the way horizontally. They kick back, out to the side, no problem. Swivel at the thigh, double bend here at the knee. We do have rotation at the knee, rotation under the knee. Then we do have a hinge at the ankle going back and forward. And then, of course, we do have forward-facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, Homelander here has some superb articulation, although not a fan of this part of his articulation. I really would have liked to see a cut just underneath his chest right here. I think they could have gotten away with that cut and still given him some articulation, but overall, still happy with the way this figure came out. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Homelander posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have Homelander by NECA posed for my final thoughts, and overall NECA has knocked it out of the park with this figure. There's a lot of things to love about this figure. Some things not to love in terms of articulation. He's not the most posable figure we've had a look at but at the same time, he could have been much worse. I would have preferred him having some kind of torso joint that cuts up the sculpt in his chest, and he actually has a really good spot that they could have added chest articulation if they really wanted to, but they really didn't want to break up their sculpt work, which I can understand why, but having an articulated figure is another thing rather than having a static figure. Not saying that Homelander can't get into some good poses, he can, but giving him that torso joint would have gotten him in even better poses. Now besides that, I do feel like the likeness is just a little bit off of the figure. It could be a little bit better, but overall still really impressed by this figure. He does come with just enough accessories that you would want, and I think the heat beam eyes are a really nice touch to this figure. If you are looking for Homelander, he is starting to hit stores at the time I'm making this video. I know he was available, I think it was at Walmart during Father's Day, but he's slowly trickled out into retail. So if you are looking for Homelander, you can get him at Walmart, Target, wherever you find NECA figures, or Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. I actually picked up mine from Big Bad Toy Store for about $30, which is pretty surprising seeing as how Homelander normally goes for about $35 at retail. Getting him for $30 is well within reason. So if you can find Homelander at a really good deal and you're a fan of the boys, I really do recommend you pick up Homelander. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other NECA videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.